I'm from a small town in Nevada, about 1,000 people, and we went to BYU together.
Yeah.
We decided that if any of our kids were going to know Grandpa, we better move closer. I ran for that Master's of Special Education. We actually moved 4 years ago and built a bigger house just a mile away because we loved the area so much, and it just feels more small townish there. I love to tell this part of my story. My oldest was going into kindergarten, and being from a family of educators, my grandparents were teachers, my parents were teachers, my older sisters are teachers, I got my degree, so I taught a little bit before I got married or before I had kids, and I was so excited for my son to start. I walked into his kindergarten classroom and there were kids everywhere. There were like 30 kids in his class, and his teacher just looked overwhelmed. I've even had principals be like, "Are you sure you don't want to go back into special education? Like, we have this spot opening." And I said, "No, I love just volunteering. I love being a part of everything."
I think that's what makes a school district really good, is that the fact that actually, hey, there's all these good people trying to,
the weekend before I had her, I helped run the box top store, and a month later she went to her first meeting, and she just continued on that way. And so I loved the balance of being able to help run activities that make it fun for kids, and then also how to fund. I've gone up to the Capitol every year for the last 10 years. And I love that aspect of PTA, that they go through every bill and say, okay, if this affects education, we're going to take a stance on this. I was so impressed with our superintendent. He really would come in and he would just tell us what they're working on right then. He would ask us for advice, and I loved that he wanted that. He wanted that advice from the community, just at the local schools. I didn't want to be like, "Hey, I got this bigger position, so I'm out of here." It is part of it is that I was going to be finished with this position, this bigger position, and I thought, in January and February, I kind of was freaking out, like, what am I going to do with my life? Okay, I can complain about him having a bad experience at the school, or I can jump in and do something. Hey, if I'm going to complain about something that broke down our current district, am I willing to jump in and try to fix it? So school board, they aren't over everything. The first step, though, is that the new school board will hire the new superintendent. Who is the ultimate boss, that you get to help with the destiny of a brand new school district. It would be great if, the superintendent had been a teacher before and had worked their way up, just because our teachers need to feel like they understand them. I think our teachers would really appreciate someone who has been in their place to create a vision of where we want our district to go, and that will be another really important thing. And then we'll have our goals underneath that. And it's so important to have a good vision and goals, because when we have our budget, everything from the budget has to support one of those goals or visions. And I could go on and on about the things I've seen in schools while I've been there or volunteered. Right after the vote came in to split the district, Region PTA decided to do a pop-up nacho bar at the district office. They decided to give them a little pick-me-up since their business just exploded, essentially. So I want to give a shout-out to our current administrators. I think that they do a fabulous job. They are some really intelligent people who have spent years and years working on things. I do love that aspect, that we have a smaller group of students that we can concentrate on, that we can take test scores, we can take, surveys about emotional wellness factors from, and we can concentrate on what are their needs instead of this larger area.
You got a lot of work ahead of you. Assuming you get.
We're just going to assume, right?
I like
and
it.
hope for the best.
That's right. You'd be awesome. I know you would.
Smaller schools does not mean smaller class sizes. So I know about aids a lot.
Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Plus my time in school community council.
Sure.
I told you that I always said that I wouldn't be a teacher.
Yeah.
But my principal said, but we need you and your skills so much. Right now, I just heard that we got the numbers to get another 4th grade teacher 2 weeks before school starts. I am running for school board, and that's what I said that I would commit to. I know a big question right now that people keep asking is about AI.
Sure, yeah.
And I keep laughing at myself because I am the last person to use AI, I think. But from all the meetings I've been to and what I've experienced, it's not a question about if they're going to use it, but when they're going to use it and how they're going to use it. AI
is a wonderful tool, and I think people will continue to use it, but you got to make sure that it's making you better, not making you lazy, I guess.
They wanted some parent input on it, and so a couple of us joined that committee, and it was great. I loved it, and I hope that I have more experiences like this where we had administrators, teachers, and parents coming together to make decisions about things like this. Every lunch period texted me and said, Mom, I can't do this, and I would text her back, yes, you can.
And I love that because the longer I'm alive, the more I realize I don't know everything.
I think it's great that you get this variety of people, different backgrounds, different experiences, because we are representing a variety of people. We need that representation, and we need to remember that our main goal is to help give the best education to these students. Most people talk about the class sizes because where we live, but I love that people already come to me and ask me questions, and they did before I was even going to run for school board.
Sure.
Just because I have been active in our area. But I do love researching it and reaching out and being able to collaborate with other people. Here, if you want to talk about Lehi specifically, we need another elementary school. So we aren't finished with growth yet. And I think that we already have the land for a new elementary school.
Okay.
I would love for that one to be built.
Yeah.
And then we need to do a boundary change here because as I told you, all those numbers do not even out. Not a lot of people know, but the Alpine School District actually bought land for a technology high school here in Lehi, but they would be able to have labs that are specific for different types of technology, and I think it sounds like an exciting option.
Well, I was just going to say that. I mean, because you go to the same school as I go to, or my kids go to, right? And so, so I guess that's probably what excites me the most is you. I mean, the same issues that I probably have, you have too.
I was, while people were asking me if I was going to run for school board, I kept saying, well, let's wait and see where the boundaries are for seats. And when I saw that it was Meadow and Dry Creek, I was like, that's my area. So I am just like, that is why I'm like, there's no reason why I wouldn't be in every school every week. Because as we talked about before, all of our students aren't the same. We can't say yes to everything, and we can't improve everything at the same time. And that is why I think it's critical to have that community input. I just keep hoping that the more people we can get involved, the more people invested, that they're willing to do whatever it takes to help our students succeed. I feel like any help that teachers can get, any help that a parent's willing to invest in their child's education is worth it. The best way to start is by actually voting in this election. Because right now you have the chance to influence years to come. Parents are the number one teacher for their kids. Yeah. They will teach them the most. And if we can think about it that way, like me as a parent, I appreciate help as a parent. Yeah. So as long as we all are invested in this, I think that we're going to continue to have great success.